Hi friends, myself Drishya, working as an assistant professor in SNS College of Technology. Here we are discussing about software project management. Today's topic is risk management. It is in third unit, activity planning and risk management. So first of all, we have to understand what is risk management. What this lecture will touch upon definition of risk and risk management, is which represent the risk and risk management differentiation and some ways of categorizing risk management. Then the risk management includes risk identification, risk analysis, risk planning, risk monitoring. It is we discussed laterally. Okay, then some definition of risk. The chance of exposure to the adverse consequences of future events. It is Prince 2. Project plans have to be based on assumption. In this case, we have an assumption for doing a project. Thus, if may or may not be that assumption is right or wrong. Here, risk is the possibility that an assumption is wrong. If our wrong is wrong about a project, that is known as risk. When the risk happens, it becomes problems or an issue. Okay, any problem or an issue in a risk is that is known as that in a project, that is known as risk. Okay, next topic is categories of risk. We have four categories: actor, structure, technology, task. So first of all, we have to understand what is this terms. Actors, the individuals or groups or teams who are the reasons for making a risk. That is known as actors. Then next is technology. Technology, every project has a technology how to doing the start to ending project. Then next is structure. What are the structure of a project? It's a starting, then ending. In between the starting and ending, they have different kinds of structures. Then task. What are the tasks? We are divided the whole project as a different stepwise task. So these are the categories of risk: actor, structure, technology, then task. Then a framework for dealing with risk. The planning for risk includes the steps: risk identification, risk analysis and prioritization, the risk planning and risk monitoring. As we are mentioned in the first slide, there's we are here, we are detailedly mentioned the risk identification. First of all, we have to understand what is the risk in our project. Contain the risk, which are the risk, what risk might there be. Okay, next one is risk analysis and prioritization. First of all, we identify the risk, then we analyze the risk and find out here priorities, which are the most serious risk. After find out this prioritization, we have to planning. The next step is risk planning. What we going to do about them, how to find out the how to overcome this risk. Then risk monitoring. After planning, we what is the current state of risk, then monitor the risk. Then first is risk identification. Approaches to identifying risk includes use of checklist, brainstorming, casual mapping. Then here, what is use of checklist? Usually based on the experience of past project, which means we everyone doing different kinds of project earlier. Based on that experience, we have to understand. We make a checklist for what are the checklist find out for overcome this risk. Okay, so this is everything is based on our experience, which means experience of past projects. Then brainstorming, getting knowledgeable stakeholders together to pool concerns. Then causal mapping, it is a different types of mapping to identify and overcome and monitoring the risk, identifying possible chains of cause and effect. So here the example of causal mapping. Then that is here low staff, where did we need staffs and how can work them. Then heavy management, then uncertain user, unstable environment, everything is connected in different values. So this is the some one of the example of causal mapping. Then next is risk analysis. It has a different it has a formula for identifying risk analysis. So RE is risk exposure. It is find out the formula for risk exposure is potential damage into probability of occurrence ideally. It's ideally. So here we have two types: potential damage and probability, which has its own formula. RE is risk exposure. Then this is the part of Amanda's risk exposure assessment. It is one of the example of past completed project by Amanda. So just go through it, find out the risks are numbering R1 to R6, then find out its values, likelihood, impact, risk exposure. Then using this, find out the overall risk. Then using this R1 R2, that is a which has ranges, so qualitative descriptor of impact on cost and associated range values. It's the impact level is high, the range is between 30 percentage and 30 percentage above budgeted expenditure. Then significant is 20 to 29 percentage. Then moderate means 10 to 19, within 10 percentage of budgeted expenditure, which is the impact level is very low. Then this is a one of the probability impact metrics which is used by that R1 to R6, like the levels of risk: high, significant, moderate, low. So we written it like this, that confusion matrix. Then risk planning. Then in the case of risk planning, we are which is deal by risk acceptance, avoidance, risk reduction, risk transfer, risk mitigation, which means reduce the risk. Then risk reduction leverage is which is find out by after and ending the after and ending the risk exposure values. It is a then using the find out its difference, and it is divided by cost of risk reduction. Then it's each and every ranges which we have to find out risk evaluation. That's all about risk. Hope all of you understand about risk management. Thank you.